And we're back with another episode of the Lakers Fast Break podcast. It's Gerald Glassford coming right back at you here from Lakers Fast Break Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week, twice a week, wherever you get your podcasts. On this week's episode, we're going to come up with you, Melinda and I, this weekend. We're going to talk about all the great things going on. And as per request, we're also going to give an Oscar recap, also talk about what's going on and trending in the world of pop culture, including Mickey 17 coming out this weekend and more. So go ahead and check it out today. Our thoughts on the world of pop culture. Plus, check out our most recent episode as well and the Super BS Gamescast. Go ahead and check that out on YouTube or audio, wherever you get your podcasts. Also, as well, hopefully coming up with the guys. In fact, someone who isn't going to be here, who was part of our playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break, is Stone Hansen. If you want to know the insight on who's trending in the NBA draft, go ahead and check out @report_court on Twitter, or just type in Stone Hansen on Twitter or Blue Sky, and it'll take care of you as well. Good shout out is also as well to Legend 350, I Got Next Sports Media, and of course Alfred Esmond. Our good friends, the Lakerholics crew, you know they're happy as the Lakers escape with a victory. Lakerholics.com. Also as well, of course, our good friend Zach. Go ahead and check out Lakers Live, wherever you get your social media. And then also as well, of course, Daniel Barry Sports Highlights. Yo! And of course, Empire Jeff TV on the Lakers or the Dodgers, which he likes to cover as well. Go ahead and check out all those great places, all those great peoples. Be a part of what we're doing today. But don't forget to like and subscribe. It does help out the channel by liking and subscribing today to get the latest notifications on when we go live on the air with the latest Lakers Fast Break, and become a member today. Helps out the channel as well. Just $2.99 a month. I don't put those exorbitant monthly prices out there, and they don't give you anything back for it. I give you videos and first looks every now and then. I also throw out articles. I throw out thoughts in there, plus emojis, badges, and more. How else can you get a Joe emoji with the goofy face that he has? Go ahead and get one today by becoming a member for just $2.99 a month. And please, again, like and subscribe right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast. Well, the Lakers finishing off this homestand, where this homestand definitely didn't start out after the All-Star break the way we wanted to with that loss in Charlotte, but over the course of time, the Lakers have made their point on where they're at with Luka, LeBron, and everything going on with the world of the Los Angeles Lakers as they have risen to second place in the Western Conference. And with that, the Lakers just needed one final victory to finish off a successful homestand, and that they did, because today they faced off against the New York Knicks. And in the first quarter, Luka went off early, and the Lakers rode that to a early 31-27 first quarter lead. But in the second quarter, kind of fell off. The train went off the tracks. The Lakers, both offensively and defensively, really just started to go off the rails. Maybe some substitution patterns, what have you, just did not look like the Lakers were in sync as they fell down 60-51. And in the third quarter, fell down several times into double digits. But the Lakers in the fourth quarter, they came back and came back strong behind Luka, behind LeBron. Luka, 32 points, 12 assists, 7 rebounds. LeBron James, despite missing 2 threes in the final minute, still 31 points, 12 rebounds, 8 assists. And the Lakers and the Knicks, in an exciting game, as Stone predicted, please don't go in overtime. Guess what they did? They went into overtime. And in the OT, Luka got them up early at a 5-point advantage. Despite Jalen Brunson's heroic efforts, I'll give him a lot of props on that, before he got injured and had to leave the game with a severely turned ankle. His 39 points, I got to give him credit there, 39 points, 10 assists. But you know what? It just wasn't enough, as the Lakers were able to hold out, get enough free throws at the end by Jackson Hayes and LeBron James, and get the victory in a 113-109 victory. And here today to go ahead and talk about today's game, He is a good man indeed. No Joe today, I don't think, because he has traveled to Arizona and it's kind of sketchy on his phone, although he may drop by. You never know. It is, of course, a good man indeed. It is the guy behind Clutch Talk and Lakers Corner. He's got that Lakers halo above his head right now. Oh, oh, because the Lakers won. It is, of course, John Costa. John, great to have you here, along with Sean, along with Stone, along with Sports Baby, along with Mark, along with Danny, along with Zach, along with everyone that was a part of the playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break live coverage. So great to have you here, my friend. You were holding it down. Joe and I were, for the most part, not there. We were watching from afar, and we watched a really, really good game and a good comeback by the LA Lakers, my friend.
Yes, we did, Gerald. And man, oh man, oh man, I tell you what, there's a couple wins that feel the best. The one when you just dominate, through and through quarters 1 through 4. The ones that you don't expect to win, those are great. But these are also the wins that I love to get. It's like there was a point in this game, y'all, when I was like, yeah, this is just not our night. And I think Sean or somebody in the chat, they even said it during playback. They were like, "Man, yeah, this is just not our night, guys." And you got to understand that some nights it's not going to be your night, and that's perfectly okay. And I was like, "All right, this is not our night. It is what it is." But to have the comeback that we did, to get back into this game, to extend the win streak one more for a game that I thought was going to be a L, man, that is an absolute great feeling. Luka Doncic, Jalen Brunson, no way they didn't have some personal wager on this game because those two guys were absolutely going at it. Beautiful to see. And I feel a little bad because during playback, I was a little frustrated with we're going up against Jalen Brunson, right? So I was frustrated with the fact that I even got to see this guy's face. Like I'm the type of guy that when we're at war, I don't want to see you. I don't want to hear you. I don't give a fuck of what happens to you. So I was a little aggressive, when he got hurt there. But prayers up to him. Hope he's all good. I know rolling your ankle is not fun to do.
No, especially at that angle. It's and I understand you just being a Lakers fan. I don't blame you a bit.
Yeah.
I've done that though. I have torn ligaments in my ankles, so I know how painful it is. I hope it isn't that for him, but when you turn it and it looks like the letter L, yeah, that's not fun. And I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, when your leg looks like the letter L at the bottom, like it's going that way. No, that's not fun at all. But again, the Lakers do get the victory. That's the most important thing. Nick T is giving us a super chat, and also No Joker appreciate his super chat during our game. And Nick T is saying it now. Here we go, John. AR cannot guard elusive guards. Matt Christie locked up Brunson back in New York. When AR is not shooting at NBA levels, he's useless on the court. I don't know about locked up on that, Nick T. I kind of disagree with you there. Max Christie is a decent defender, but not great. I see him with his lack of strength get bullied quite a bit. He now, though, is going to, again, he's on the Dallas Mavericks. And again, that's just something where you guys got to let it go. I know Rodell's favorite, but unfortunately, guys, he is struggling. But now that he's going to get time with Kyrie out, he's going to get a lot of time to go ahead and take some shots. So I wish him the best on that. But he does have a point. AR defensively coming back for the injury did not look sharp tonight. But AR overall, we've talked about his defense. This one shining moment defensively, you could probably say, has been his defense in that first round against Denver when he held Murray to under 40% shooting. And again, that's something that could be always on his resume. But for the most part, I get what they're saying. I get what Nick T's saying. As a defender on Brunson, that's really hard. The Lakers always have problems with small, quicker guards really just being able to evade the Lakers defense right and left. And he did. Brunson was able to get wherever he wanted, whenever he wanted tonight. It is a concern whenever the Lakers are playing a smaller guard like Brunson, a Morant, and somewhere along that line. How concerned are you about the Lakers defense, which for the most part has been good, was even good tonight for most of the game? But when it comes to Brunson, and smaller guards, AR is not the answer. And I agree with Nick T on that defensively.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I agree with with Nick T on that, and I feel like this is something that we've all said before, right? Like that's one of the Lakers' biggest glaring hole is besides that lack of a true big man, besides that lack of a big starting center caliber big, it's the fact that our backcourt defense is atrocious, and which is my exact reasoning why. And I said this on playback when I was talking to my boy Stone. My exact reasoning as to why I would not want to go up against Oklahoma City Thunder. Like they have just an immense amount of offensive talented guards, and on the defensive end, they have an immense amount of defensive perimeter talented defenders to constantly throw at Luka, to constantly throw at AR. So for me, I mean, yeah, for sure, Nick T. I wouldn't agree with the fact that Christie locked up Brunson because I'm pretty sure Brunson still ended up finishing with like 17. But I guess for Brunson's average, if
He
you can
was
hold
7 of
players,
18 that night. He was 17 and
yeah,
7 assists. Yeah.
yeah. He I wouldn't say he locked him up, but if you can hold a player under their averages, did a
Like,
did a rather good
there
job.
there
And
are matchups. There are matchups that certain players thrive on, and certain ones that don't. Like
absolutely.
when Harrison Barnes destroyed Max Christie, Rodell is nowhere near in sight. So let's leave it at that's exactly. So he has his flaws, but we're talking. I don't want to talk about a Dallas Maverick anymore. You guys got to
Yeah.
let it go. We have Luka. Luka scored 31 tonight. You guys got to get in the program here. If you guys don't want to get in the program, this is getting just a little bit nauseating. I talk about Ivica Zubats because the Lakers still have a big hole in the middle, as we saw tonight. Jackson Hayes, when he needed to go ahead and block shot in the overtime, couldn't get it done and got the foul instead. We still need a big time defender in the middle. But when it comes to Max Christie was traded, John, for someone tonight that got us, can I say again, 32 points, 12 assists, 4 steals, 7 rebounds. So when it comes right down to it, John, the people that are still like pining for Max Christie, they don't get it. They want their cake and eat it too. Unfortunately for them, they need to become maybe Dallas Maverick fans because LA fans, we got the better end of the deal. While Max Christie is struggling to still maintain double-digit points on an every game basis, Luka is just getting warmed up and gave us another 30 spot. How is it when it comes right down to it, John? And whenever you're ready, let me know. Again, with this game tonight, we saw Luka and LeBron at times just being able to hold this team even when they were down by double digits. You still think with LeBron and Luka, you have a chance to win the game like we saw tonight, John.
Yes, and sorry about that, Gerald. My daughter
No
was
worries,
just
all
in
good, my
here,
friend.
and it would have been really loud. But look, man, if to and I'm gonna do exactly what Joe said. Talk about tonight's game. But before I do that, let me say this: if you are still tripping on Max Christie, maybe pick a different sport because we got a
Or just go to
generational.
Dallas Mavericks because they've already lost a lot of fans. They might need some new ones. Yeah,
There you go. There you go.
yeah,
If you're
there you
tripping on Max Christie being gone for Luka Doncic, then you know what? Maybe this isn't the place for you. Gerald, you said that you have like some friends that like Mavs talk or something like that, right? Like you,
go.
you
We
you have some
talk
friends that
Mavs. They're
we
excellent.
talk. Yeah,
That's a great show. Yes, you
go over
guys can.
there. Go over
Yes,
there. If
yes.
you genuinely
It-
miss Max Christie that much over Luka Doncic, go over there.
Yeah, they
Right
need
now,
all the positivity. If you've heard them recently, because even they know how stupid of a trade this was for the Mavericks, how much they miss Luca. Yeah, they're happy to have Max, but they would take Luca back in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. But if you want to go ahead and give them some positivity on Max, go there. They need it. They need it. Right now, we need all that we can get as far as Luca and LeBron. We're heading out to a very important road trip, John. And the fact
absolutely.
that we're able to close it out with a very emotional, very tough, dragged out into overtime win like this, it says a lot about the character of this team. Even with LeBron not being able to get it done in the fourth quarter when it counts. Missed once, missed twice. Should have taken it inside instead of chucking up threes at that point in time. But again, that's hindsight. Luka getting it done, and then LeBron hitting the clutch free throws to finish them off. This is what the kind of team building you need, John, as you go on a road for one of the toughest road trips of the year.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Like like how the way I started off the whole show, when you get a win like this, man, when you get a win where you really had to be in the trenches, because look, man, when you're rolling, everything's clicking on all cylinders. Of course, it's easy to have good chemistry, but it's when you got to go through the trenches with your team. It's like, you're down big, and this isn't working, that's not working, and you figure it out, and then that just brings you a lot closer, man. I actually heard, I forgot who he was today. I listened to a lot of NBA players, like, doing podcasts. I'm trying to remember who it was, but they were talking about how it's like when you win a championship, everyone sees you like winning, and it's like all the happiness and the celebration, but they don't know all the bickering and all the shit that they go through during the season, even within the team. I'm not saying, working hard and lifting, like, yeah, that's what comes with life. Like, that's just what comes with being in the NBA. But it's the shit that you go through as a team. And I think a win like this tonight was one that brings you a lot closer as a team. I do think that the offense got extremely stagnant, and after the end of the first quarter, we just like forgot
Yes.
how to play defense. I'm not gonna lie, like, it just
Well,
looked like,
both ends. It was bad on both ends, John, because again, getting outscored in that second quarter the way they did, it wasn't pretty. And they were down by 9.5, and then the third quarter they fell down to as many as 13 points. It wasn't really that pretty, but yeah, I agree with you on that. But finish up, my friend.
no, I was just gonna say exactly that. Hey, there he is. I was just gonna say exactly that, man. I was just gonna say, looks like we just literally forgot how to play basketball after the end of the first quarter. Like, we were rolling in the first quarter, playing some good defense. Offense wasn't stagnant. We had, when Luka was on the ball, we weren't just standing around watching him. After the second quarter, it was literally just standing around watching Luka work. So I hope that, I'm happy we got the win, but I hope that we understood what we did wrong as a team this game, and fix that moving forward, especially as we enter this tough road trip.
Absolutely. Once again, it is the Lakers winning 128 to 112. It is Gerald Glassford along with John Costa, clutch talking Lakers quarter. He's got the Lakers halo above his head. Ah, ah, ah. Also here today, it's good man indeed. It is the man hopefully hosting the upcoming Barca or Barca. You say Barca, I say Barca. You say tomato, I say tomato.
Tomato.
Fast break coming up here. It is a man who hasn't been swept away by the cyclone, and wishing him, yeah, it's right outside. Would that be so funny, John, if it's like right outside his door and he's still on the air,
It's
like,
coming.
yeah, well, when Luca was going to his right, and all of a sudden, next thing you see him, like just right outside, just sucked up outside. I'm kidding, of course. Jeremy, just appreciate you being safe as well. But it is, of course, Mark, aka Xbox. Mark, great to have you here. Again, we are wishing you and Jeremy and everybody in Australia the safety that they can in this time with the cyclone around. Your thoughts on today's game? You're very passionate about the way the Lakers closed it out. Some things, again, as always, that we see that we would have liked to have done a little bit differently. But I know you said repeatedly that every single possession needed to go through Luca at the end. Didn't quite work out that way always, but in the end, in that overtime, when it did, it really mattered.
Yeah, spot on. And it's hard to understand the last couple of minutes of the game. We love LeBron, John, but he sort of, he did that old school thing that he likes to do and get a bit of the glory, and it, blew up in his face a little bit then. But, he did well in overtime. I'll give him that. And he scored
Yes.
4 clutch free throws late. So,
Yes.
kudos to
And
LeBron.
Jackson Hayes too. Gotta
Yeah,
give
as well. The 2 before that was very, very important. So, You know, it was a funny performance. You know, Lucas obviously had a great game statistically, but you know, we got to admit as well, we went down by quite a bit. So, and we came back and we got the win. So, I'm focusing on the positives. And when we mention Max, we're talking about Max Kleber now, guys. Maxi Kleber, or whatever you want to say. Max Kleber, Max Christie. Adios, bro. You're no longer a Laker. I'm sick of seeing his name in the chat by guys like Nick T that are
You know
completely
what?
trolling
But I
us
can't.
constantly.
But let me say this. Let me say this. I can't
Yeah,
blame them too much because I keep on harping on Ivica Zubats, and
yeah,
you know me.
but that's a bit of a
The
different
fact
story.
the,
Yeah,
the
that's
fact
like
that he
the
the
long
fact he
lost
got
treasure, man.
57 points and 22 rebounds in the past two games. You know, I keep on keeping tabs and wishing he was still part of our team, but I get it. But without Max Christie being traded, you wouldn't have Luca tonight.
Well, yeah, that's right. But I'm just sort of pointing out that the max I want to talk about going forward is Kleber. But Young's totally right. No, I give LeBron. We just got to talk about tonight's game. And LeBron late, I felt like he should have defaulted to Luca when he didn't. And then when we did in overtime, we got the looks that we needed. That's all I felt, Young. I mean, hey. LeBron's been playing out of his mind, man, and the way he can score right now. Obviously, if we didn't have him, we wouldn't have won the game tonight. And he had some good defensive rebounds as well. So, shout out to LeBron Young. I think Young sort of thinks when I go LeBron that I'm hating him. I don't, bro. Just tonight, that late on, John, you saw it too. We were on playback. He jacked up a couple of crazy threes when we possibly could have run a couple better plays to win before going to overtime. But a win's a win, man. We're now a game in front of Denver, which is exactly where we wanted to be, holding that second spot. And now we go on this road trip. So I thought it was obviously it was an up and down game, but considering that we were getting, sort of our ass kicked early, to come back was pretty great. We'll shout out to Brunson. Hopefully what happened there late isn't bad, but me and John, I think we were on the same page there. We didn't really care. All we were thinking about was the win,
Ah,
and
straight
now we
up.
can move on to
I hope he's good
feeling.
now, though.
Yeah, that's right. But during the game, get off. But yeah, we'll take it, man. I'm just so stoked we got the win. We needed to keep rolling. Knicks are a tough team. They just come off a bad loss against Golden State. Everyone that comes to LA wants to play hard and win. So they had Cat back as well. Yes, they were thinking no Cat. Cat was there. So it was a great win in the end. Great performance, maybe not. AR as well, man. Obviously, he had a really timely three, possibly in overtime or in the fourth quarter, but he didn't look like himself. He's got to take a couple of games to obviously get over the injury. Gabe had some. I won't keep going on about Gabe's face. Gabe's face is now just even killed to me, but he was great. DFS, I think, had some really poor moments. Sorry, and who else can we just quickly mention? Hayes obviously fouled out 8 points, I think it was in the end. Not his best game tonight, but you're going to expect that from a minimum player to go up and down. Jamison didn't have the impact that we wanted, but overall, we'll take it.
Really quick, I just want to give like a
Of course.
shout out. I guess talk about what Young said, because Young, brother, I'm right there with you. Like I probably am a bigger LeBron fan than you, or if not the same. I'm LeBron is my guy, bro. But I'm also the one that when you needed to get shitted on, or you need to get critiqued, I'm gonna critique you. When you deserve the love, you deserve the respect. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be the number one person giving you that love and giving you that respect. And to your comment about saying if Kobe takes those same shots, we don't say the same. I love that comment because that's real. I 100% agree. Kobe Bryant takes those two shots back in the day, and he misses. Fuck it, we live with it. But let me tell you this: not all buckets and not all players get shots and create shots equally. LeBron James, he gets to the hoop at will. He's 40 years old, and I still don't know many players in the NBA that can stop him when he puts his head down and gets to the rim. There's just not many people. That's still one of the most dominant plays in basketball right now is LeBron putting his head down and getting to the cup. Now, Kobe, he could put his head down and get to the cup, absolutely. But also, what Kobe do is Kobe pull up on you, right? So if Kobe Bryant takes that shot, that's a higher percentage shot than LeBron James pulling up for that and settling when he can get to the hoop on, again, almost anybody in the NBA. So that's why, we were so, harping on LeBron James. But don't worry, brother. I get it. He's LeBron freaking James. Like I'm right there with you, brother.
Once again, it is the Lakers winning 128-112. It is, of course, John Costa, Clutch Talking Lakers Corner at Xbox. Right here for you. Also here today, good man indeed. He stopped by every now and then, and we do have the time and space for him today. It is, well, it's so much better sometimes when Joe is not around, so other people can get a chance to be here on the show and talk. It is, of course, Lakers all day. Lakers all day. Truly glad to have you here.
What's up?
Seems like you really wanted to come on the
Yeah,
show, and
I did, man. I was
Where's your
like,
camera, bro?
oh,
You
I don't
gotta
have
get
my
on
camera
cam,
tonight,
gang.
man. I don't got my camera on tonight, man.
all right, no worries.
good.
But your thoughts on tonight's game?
But tonight it was a great game. The first two quarters, I don't know where the heck was our energy at. There was no aggressiveness from us. We was out here playing like we were just playing like we didn't care about who we playing. We just lackadaisical out there. Like they was playing like better defense. They were trapping us. They were getting loose balls, running fast breaks, and OG was killing us in the first quarter, first two quarters, three quarters. Even Brunson was too. You know what I'm saying? But then third quarter came around. We started playing pretty good. Fourth quarter, we started playing pretty good. But my problem is, I love the win. I love everything about it. But from when Austin Reaves got hurt, right, and when Dalton came in, he was out here balling when Austin Reaves wasn't in the game, right? These couple of past games, he came in here balling, starting for us. Then you want to bring in Austin Reaves again, start him. Why did you do that? You should have kept Dalton in the games, let him start because he out here been balling, and you saw what he did tonight with Dalton and Gabe Vincent. LeBron and Luka need shooters on the court. They don't need somebody else that can dribble the ball like they can and get to the basket. You don't need that from Austin Reaves. You need a catch and shoot. Dorian is catch and shoot. Gabe is catch and shoot. Dalton Connect is catch and shoot. Why is Austin Reaves in the game?
Well,
I
I'm
can
going to
tell you
check
why
you
he's in
there
the
a
game.
bit. He can catch and shoot too, bro.
I
Yeah,
understand that. I understand he can, but I'm saying those last two possessions on the wing, on the right side of the wing, when he was dribbling the ball, everybody else was looking at him. Why are you dribbling the ball? You got LeBron and Luka to dribble the ball. Why you trying to be hot sauce out here trying to show off your moves? Get your
I
behind on
can
the
tell
bench.
you. Well, I can
You know
tell
what I'm
you,
saying?
Austin, the way he has played up until the time he got injured, was averaging about 19, 6 assists, somewhere around there. He's played about 36% right now from 3-point area, and has proven himself as a efficient number 3 player for this team up until the time he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
The old NBA mentality, whether we like it or we agree with it or not, is that these coaches will always let these players get back and won't lose a spot because of injury. JJ Redick, as a player, knows what's that like. Is if he gets injured, he knows he's going to get his starting spot back when he came back from injury, and that's the expectation probably the guys have of him in there. And just whether you think Dalton is going to be that guy. You saw when he gets more time, he gets into rhythm. He is a much better shooter. That defense tonight, there was only a couple small things as far as his defense tonight, but outside of that, he actually held his own in the 21 minutes he was out there. 11 points. That's what you need from him. So again, I understand that, but you're asking why is Austin Reaves starting out there ahead of Dalton? You got to understand in the NBA, there's certain ways that they go ahead and treat veterans of that, and veterans don't lose their spot, at least for a couple games like that, due to injury. They won't take it away.
Real quick, Lakers all day.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, and then I'll let you go, brother. And just to be like a little devil's advocate on that, and tell you from my experience, every level that I've played at basketball, high school basketball, college basketball. At the end of the game, you go with your best players. Like that, you go with your best players, period, right? Unless like Dalton Connect was on a burner, like a 50 burner or something like that. But if he's not on a crazy burner, you at the end of the game, you go with your best players. Now, I agree with your take of, why not, keep letting Dalton roll, because he was rolling so much when when AR was out of the lineup. I agree with that take, but to me, it's like, and by the way, what's up, Lakers Legacy TV? Appreciate you being here, brother. But to me, it's like, at what point does that stop though? Because at some point, AR needs to come back into the starting lineup, unless you don't believe that. I believe AR should be there. So at some point, he needs to come back into the starting lineup, whether it's this game or whether it's, in 2 or 3 games down the line. But I feel what you're saying, though. But to me, it's just like the last couple of minutes out there, you got to absolutely have your best players out there.
Yeah,
I'm taking AR over Dalton.
I don't know, man. Did we win the game, Lakers?
No,
all day? Hey, bro,
we did
but
know.
yeah,
No, I
you
understand
also
that.
didn't want AR to
Mhm.
handle the ball at all, bro. I remember what you said a few streams ago. I respect your opinion, and you got some great opinions, man.
Mhm.
But you're also telling us that you didn't want AR anywhere near the club, and now we're talking about him being a third star. So I don't know what you've seen tonight, bro. Like, he hit an important 3. Obviously, Dalton
I
maybe
mean,
could
he
have
was
hit that
bad
3
tonight,
as
but
well.
he's coming back.
He's
He's been
coming
out
back
for
from
what, a
injury.
week? Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah,
is Dalton
but
better than AR?
no, I know. I don't think they're better. I think Dalton is a better shooter, but Austin is a better dribbler. You know what I'm saying, to create for himself. But as just like what they said, Laker Corner said that, what I'm saying, he would have the best players out there. But your third best player was coming off injury. You know what I'm saying? And then you had Dalton Connect. He was out here, had 19 points, 17 points, you know what I'm saying, when Austin Reaves wasn't playing.
But
So
again,
why would
Lakers all
you?
day. It's the league. In the league, there's a different mentality, and if you watch it and follow it enough, you understand that these coaches will not let their better players or their star players lose their spot due to a short injury of a 3 to 4 games, whatnot. They're getting their spot back once they come back into the lineup.
I
They're
feel
not
you.
losing it because of that.
I,
They're
I,
losing it only because of their ineffectual play, but they're not losing it because they turned their ankle and were out a week. They just won't do that. They won't do that,
yeah,
Lakers all day.
I got you. I understand that was just that my little, I was kind of tight
And
about.
remember, JJ is a player. He was a player in this league
Yeah,
for over 10 years. He is on
he
that
knows.
other.
Yeah. Hmm. I
Yeah.
know. I got you. I got you. But my other thing is that, like, I feel like but us, like the Laker fan, not the fans, but the play, like JJ, we need shooters out there. Like, we always need to have shooters out there, because if LeBron and Luca don't have it, like tonight, they had it a little bit in the third and fourth quarter of OT, but in the first 2 quarters they didn't have it. You know what I'm saying? And that's where we could have had Gabe in there to shoot the ball, because we need catch and shoot guys. You know what I'm saying? We have 2 playmakers that can pass and create for themselves, and the other guys are just standing in the corner waiting for the shot. You know what I'm saying? He needs to play Gabe more and Dalton, I think. You know?
Man,
Well, he needs to play Gabe
I'm gonna
only when he's
push.
streaky. I
Man, I'm
mean,
gonna
Gabe
push
is
back on
streaky,
all of
so
that,
you keep.
bro. Sorry, Gerald. We're 12, 13 points down. We came back and won the game.
Yeah,
I
I know.
mean,
I,
I
I
like
understand
what
that.
like with Dalton playing that whole time where we would have won by 20 points. I'm just not sure, man. What you're trying to say there? Like, I
No,
feel like
I'm
Lakers
just,
all
I'm just,
day.
I'm.
You don't like AR, and you're lining them up every time you come on.
And I
So
understand defensively, but
I know you don't like
Lakers
it.
all day. Well, but the thing is, you also have to consider this. I understand Austin Reaves is not a good defender at that high level for someone like Brunson. I get that. I understand that.
Hmm.
And the one time he really looked good defensively was against Murray in last year's playoffs. I get that. That's only one short period of time and a very large window for him already where he's not played good defense. But Dalton, his major faux pas, and I've said this as a huge Dalton Connect backer, is his defense. He is one of the worst defenders in the league. And the reason why he's getting minutes now is because his defense has been passable enough to keep him out there on the floor. As long as his defense is passable, that's fine. But in a matchup like that, Brunson is going to find him. He's going to hunt him down, and they're going to go ahead and attack the guy in those minutes, in the time that's
Gerald,
there.
but Gerald, but even though you said Dalton is going to get hunted, Austin Reaves got hunted tonight too.
Again, you got to take your chances. Who is the better defender of the two? And right now, they're both not great defenders, but I'm just going to say at this point, you got to go with Austin Reaves as a better defender. But let me get it over to Joe. Again, as if anybody didn't know, the Lakers did pull out the victory tonight, trying to keep it positive here. Again, as the Lakers close out the homestand with a great win. And here today, he is here, taking up some space right here on the show. He is live from Arizona, spring training, all that good stuff. It is Joe Soro. Joe, Oxide 247, great to have you here, my friend. I'm glad you made it safe. Before I get to back to John and Xbox on Robert Wheeler's question of the day, wanted to go ahead and hear your thoughts on today's game, my friend. I know that something's burning. I know that you were at the bar trying to watch it with some rude people there, but you're here now after a great Lakers victory. Your thoughts, my friend?
Well, I didn't think I was going to deal with a bunch of shit that I dealt with at the bar, which is normal. That's why I usually don't go to bars or sports books, because you always have one or two dumb fucks who either, like, for example, one of the stupid idiots called overtime before we even saw the play. And then you had this other dipshit who kept saying negative shit, much like how you guys have been starting out this fucking show with, oh, LeBron doesn't make that shot all the time after he hit 2 shots. So I'm sitting there, I've been dealing with that, and I think that was the igniter with my irritation with you guys the first 30 minutes of this game. Folks, you should know this, okay? There's 82 games in a season. Sometimes the other team plays well. Also, Austin Reaves was fucking injured. Okay, sometimes it takes a minute to get yourself kind of figured out there. And maybe he had a bad game too. And Dalton is a good player. He will be a good player, barring injury. And he's going to have his moments, but he's also not going to have his moments. That's what these guys are. They're sometimes not going to be 100%. Guess who picked up the slack? Gabe Vincent picked up the slack. Guess who made clutch shots? Luka made clutch shots. Look what happened with LeBron. Yeah, he missed a couple of bad shots at the end of the fourth, but he hit clutch free throws in the end. You know what this game was? This game these are the kind of games that build the iron character, the steel character. And you all got to enjoy this. And the fact that you guys kept talking about that fucking guy in Dallas, I'm not even going to say his name. I mean, seriously? We're still talking about him?
Our audience is, Joe. Our audience is. That's what.
Who? One guy said it. One. Not our audience. One.
But
more than one.
But like,
look,
I mean,
you guys have. We've all been here. We've all been in the negative Nancy's in this for a while. Okay. February 1 told us all to eat shit for everything we said before then. It's new life, guys. What we knew and what we had before February 1 doesn't mean shit anymore. February 1 changed everything. I highly recommend some of you get over the broken relationship with whatever the fuck you have. You guys are like jilted girlfriends. Come on. Focus on what's happening here, guys. Enjoy the games. The Lakers had no business winning this game. You know who wins games like this? Championship teams win games like this. You know why? When you suck ass most of the game and you still win, that's a sign that you have a great team, or at least a great team that's about to become great.
Yep.
Joe, you know what, brother? Your rant just told me that either you were listening to me when I started off this show, or you just weren't listening to me and you're just repeating what I said. That's exactly what the fuck I said, Joe. That's exactly.
I copied everything John said and wrote it down, and I just said it off the paper. Sorry,
but you made it better.
I'm a fraud.
But you made it better, though, Joe. You made it absolutely better. Because
I didn't hear you, by the way. I was driving when you were probably talking.
Yeah, see, there you go. Yes, there you go. John, let me get into you. Robert Wheeler, question of the day. At any point in this game, do you feel that the Lakers are going to lose this game? You said, because I don't think he heard it either, he may have been driving. You said that there was a chance that you thought that this team was going to lose this game. I thought right when that second quarter, when it was getting to double digits and early in the third, it didn't look like the Lakers, it was going to be their night. But credit them, they found even before Brunson went out of the game, they found and mustered up enough energy and focus on the defensive end and made the right plays, except for the couple LeBron 3-pointers in that fourth quarter, to get the job done and get this team back in a position to get the victory, John. Did you
Yeah, I
feel
mean,
that they were going to lose this game? I think you
I
did.
I did. I absolutely did. I mean, that's the way I opened up the show. Started talking about. I felt like, man, this game was one that it was just one where I was like, oh, this is just not our night. Shots aren't going our way. Everything is going for Brunson. I mean, the game only went our way in that first quarter. I mean, it was not even necessarily our way. It was just Luka Doncic willing us to us, outscoring them. But for the rest of the game, especially at right after the end of that first quarter, like start of the second quarter, Knicks went on that run. Defense got extremely lazy, got out hustled, got out rebounded. Offense got stagnant. No cuts off the ball, no nothing. And it was in around the third quarter where I was like, yeah, like this game is not meant for us to win. So fuck it, you know what I'm saying? Like go into the end, but if we don't win this game, you can't win all 82. But to get a win in a game like this in overtime, when you're in the trenches with your boys, like, man, that's when you become the closest. It's like I said, man, it's very easy to be all, kumbaya, I love you, brother, when everything's all good and you're all winning and nobody's mad, and winning solves everything, man. I always say that winning solves everything. And when you're winning, there's no reason to argue. But it's when you got to go through moments like this and figure out, oh shit, it's not working. We got to adjust. We got to rearrange. And then to be able to come out of that and get a win, oh man, it's big time. One of the best things is winning games you didn't expect to win.
I agree, my friend. But once again, the Lakers do get the victory again tonight with a big victory, 113-109. They're now 40-21 Xbox, 40-21, still second place in the Western Conference as they head out on a major road trip, which starts on Saturday. Your thoughts, my friend? Boston. Again, I've just said all season they're in cruise control mode. They're just waiting for the playoffs. They don't care if Cleveland's get the number one seed. They really don't. They're just, again, they just look like a team that's just practicing their threes and just sharpening them up to try and go and make a run in the playoffs. Whether they do or not, we'll have to wait and see. But your thoughts on the Lakers heading into Boston on Saturday night, my friend?
Well, man, I feel better than if we'd lost, that's for sure. And Pritchard and White, I think they combined for the most threes in a game the other day, which is pretty insane.
84 points between them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy to think of those two players when you've seen greats like Steph and Clay play together. So, and Lillard and the other bloke that he played with in New Orleans for a while, they would have jacked up a few threes too. So that was quite hard to understand how they did that. So they've got some serious depth, obviously. But hey, man, winning momentum is better than losing momentum. And we won the game tonight, and it was a tough game. And Robert Wheeler, I don't know if you want to put up that question from before, Gerald, but I sort of remember it.
Were you concerned at any point in time in the game
Yeah.
that they would lose?
Oh, look, John just mentioned he was, and yeah, absolutely. When you're down 12, 13, 14 points, you got to be realistic. It's the NBA. Joe just came in here and said exactly what I felt as well. Sometimes you do have a bad game, but hey, give JJ some credit, boys. We went into halftime not in a good position. We came out, we won the third quarter, and we didn't start playing well at that start of the third. I don't know how much they increased their lead, but it felt like they were running away a bit. We crawled back, won that quarter by a point. Sorry if I'm wrong I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. I think it was 25-24. And then in the last quarter, we won it by 8 or 9 points to actually, tie the game. I know we were in a winning position in the last quarter, But hey, we won the game, man, and that's all I'm about. As I keep saying to the guys, for me, it's about the eye test and the games that each game by game. Not a perfect game by any stretch of the imagination. Integrating an AR that was coming back injured. Some poor moments by everyone in the team. Vando had his moments tonight that were quite poor, but then he had a putback dunk and he had a couple of good offensive rebounds. So I don't know, man. For me, it's all about getting the dubs right now. This is a tough team, New York, who right up there in the Eastern Conference. And like I said before, they're coming here to win. They just got beaten by a Golden State team that, they thought probably we would have beat them. And so they wanted to win tonight, and we cooked them. So I'm all good, man. I'm all about winning form and bring on Boston. We know we can go. We can go there. AR last year went there and beat him by himself. So now AR's got a little bit of help. Lakers all day with Luka and LeBron. So we'll see what AR does there. But I'm happy, man. I'm in the middle of a cyclone. If we'd lost, man, I might have just put myself out there to the elements. But I decided against that.
Just walk outside.
Just
like,
walk
fuck it.
outside and just go. Let's go.
I still
Now-
think he's going to get sucked up at any second. Just go outside that window.
There's a possibility of that, but the other one I keep mentioning is Rui. And there's a few sort of up and down thoughts about Rui in the chat. Rui would have made a difference tonight because you can see DFS there's a bit of a strain there. He's having to play more minutes tonight. Some of DFS's plays, weren't up to scratch, but at the same time we won. So, let's not go down too many negative paths. I'm just happy with the win, and yeah, bring on Boston, man. They're eternal rival, so we've got to be up for that game.
Lakers all day. I want to bring it to you. And once again, the Lakers do get the victory in overtime, 113 to 109. Austin Reaves, after the game, said, guy that you were touching on earlier, that he thinks it's a great sign for the Lakers that they're winning games like tonight when they don't feel like they've played their best basketball throughout, but that they still found a way to win. And Joe and I and John mentioned earlier about what kind of team, what this does to a team when you get these kind of victories as you get such a major acquisition acclimated to the rest of the team. Tell me your thoughts, Lakers all day, on what happens when you have this kind of great contribution on a day where the Lakers just didn't seem to have it for most of the game.
We are. I mean, this team is a championship team because we have everything. We have the point guard. We have LeBron. We got the bench players. We have Gabe Benson that Loki played in the finals with the Heat. You know what I'm saying? We have a dude that can come out. We got two players out here that can come out here and score points. And not Gabe, but Austin Reeves and Dalton Connect. And the others. You know what I'm saying? The others gotta have chemistry with the starters, and I think we can make it. I think we can really go to the finals and win because if you look at the field, like the Western Conference Finals, the Western Conference is like they can't. I mean, yes, they have probably more speed than us and everything like that, but they don't have the two greatest passers, the two greatest point guards. You know what I'm saying? Like we have. You know what I'm saying? We have a great team. We're just missing Rui right now. And if we would have Rui, that's another size that, you know, they don't have that we have. We got Bando, we got Smith, we have Gay, we got, all these great players that, people wanted to trade, a while ago. And now look at, what I'm saying? They're out here playing great. I feel like this is a championship team. We can go far. We just have to, just cut the turnovers down and play great defense because defense wins championships. They do. In basketball, yes, they do. And offense wins too. But when you lock down your defender, with your opponent, and you get the point, that's defense, right? So I feel like that's how we can win games. We just it's gonna be tough, but we can do it, and we just have to come together. And I'm gonna just say this: stop talking to the refs. My problem is Do not talk to the
You're
refs
never
because they
you're
are.
never going to get Luka and LeBron to stop doing it.
No, no,
They're
look, I understand that, but for us to looking at it, that's a bad look because we're the Lakers already. You know what I'm saying? Like we already have a we already have people that hate us. We already have fans that don't like us. You know what I'm saying? So LeBron and Luca, stop talking to the refs. Just play basketball.
Yeah,
You feel me?
that's that.
That's
I
that's
wish I wish they would Lakers all day, but they are who they are. They're going to keep on doing it for the rest. LeBron's at 40, and Luka's been in the league what 7 years now, I think.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
they are who they are at the stage of the game, and
Yeah, I just
they're not
from
going to change.
yeah,
Unless they get to the point where it's like where they're on the verge of getting suspended, then they kind of change a little bit. They kind of get
mhm.
less aggressive with the refs, but they waited till that point in the season when they go ahead and okay, now some real money's on the line. Now I'm missing a game if I say anything. Then they kind of think about it after that. But
Yeah,
I agree with you. I
mhm.
can't say I disagree with you. I just
Yeah,
don't think they'll do it.
yeah, I know they won't too. I know they won't. But the last thing is that I feel like Gabe Vincent is our Derek Fisher. He's not Derek Fisher, but he's our Derek Fisher. 'Cause, like he can come here and make clutch shots because he's done it before in big time moments. Him and Luka and LeBron done it. So that's where we have a plus in that too. And
Mhm.
well, and I just feel like if we can just everybody come together as a unit and play great defense and you know cut and move and all that stuff, we can have a championship team without even having a big man like that. Because look, the Warriors didn't have a big man when they won championships. Yes, they had KD, but I mean they didn't really have a big man.
KD 7 foot tall though, brother.
Yeah, no, I
Like
know. I
that's one thing
understand.
people don't take into account. Like I understand people say they were running small ball, but
KD, don't call him a
Kevin,
7 footer. He
yeah,
hates it when you call him a 7 footer, even though he's seven
Yeah,
feet tall.
but
but
He
he's
hates
seven
it
foot
when you
tall.
call him
Like
a 7
yeah,
he was a
He
great rim
hates it when
protector
you
for me.
call him that, but he is
it's,
7 feet
I
tall.
mean, it's all right.
I've seen him stand next to guys that are 7 feet, legit 7 feet. He
Yeah,
is a
yeah,
seven
yeah. I
foot.
mean, for me, I just feel like we have a championship team. That's where we're headed. I mean, maybe it might be a little bumps and bruises in the playoffs though, but if we can overcome that, I think we can go far. And for Boston, I feel like they're gonna come out strong because we lost, we beat them, and they're gonna come out, fiery and want to win. For us to beat them, we have to run them up 3 point line, make them go to the basket, and we need to get back on fast break transition on defense, and we have to play our basketball and get physical because they're gonna be physical with us. So we have to get physical with these teams now too and stop playing, you know, kind of scared on offense and defense. We have to get physical now. But yeah, that's all I got.
Joe, let me bring it back to you, my friend. I want to talk a little bit about the other guys. I know that Lakers All Day mentioned Gabe Vincent. When Gabe Vincent is the epitome of the streakiest player, he's one of the streakiest players in the NBA. He talked about his playoffs, where in the early rounds, Joe, where Gabe really was on a heater and helped Miami really make some clutch baskets. And the finals, he was ice cold, and we saw what happened there. But again, you can't just blame it on him because again, that was just a better team in Denver outplaying Miami there. But when it comes right down to it, the support of the bench, a bench that was much maligned and earlier this season was considered one of the worst in basketball. We called them out many times. You're finally getting good, solid contributions from the other guys. The Jackson Hayes, the DFS, the Gabe Vincents, the Dalton Connects, those guys, the Trey Jamesons, who, if he doesn't try and kill someone, he's actually going to, it's been doing a solid job for a guy that's on a two-way. Your thoughts on all the other guys stepping up to the plate? I don't think it's an accident they all started stepping up to the plate in many of these cases when Luka Doncic came around.
For the record, I'd rather eat freshly poured asphalt than Taco Bell.
Ralph said he was bringing it to you now.
Yeah,
So
he's
watch
joking.
out.
Anyways, look, here's what's developing here. Gabe Vincent being Derek Fisher. I would say tonight he did play like Derek Fisher. He hit shots that were Fisher-esque in terms of bringing the team back. Whether he's going to continue to do that, I'm not going to put that much pressure on him to be that guy. What I would like is I would like the role players to take turns. That's something I think that's a little bit more realistic. And tonight, Dalton Connect and Gabe Vincent shot 7 of 11 from 3, and they needed every single one of those 7 that they hit. And they did their job tonight. They were a big part of why they were able to stay into the game and also get them to close that deficit. But it's hard to just say, oh, well, it's, these guys are the only ones that everybody, this was a team win. I don't think there's enough praise on how hard Jackson Hayes was playing. If you guys recorded this game and you have some time, just watch how different Jackson Hayes moves now since Luka has come here. And everyone, Jemison, everybody is playing their ass off. Dorian Finney-Smith didn't have good numbers, but that son of a gun was going to every area of that court trying to cover something, somewhere, someone. He absolutely, they're all doing their job. And that lot of that comes from opportunity. It comes from the fact that there is coaching going on right now that's really, really helping these guys do what they're doing. And as far as LeBron and Luka, well, folks, these are the all-world stars. This is what they do. This is how they're supposed to do it. And they are doing the job. Even if they're not making shots when you want them to make shots, they seem to make shots when they really, really need it. If it's a free throw, if it's a three, and you have to understand that the other team also plays well. The Knicks were playing really good defense up until the end of the fourth. And it's not an accident that they probably got a little tired towards the end. And that right there, folks, is something that I want you guys to pay attention to. They got tired because they were playing so hard the first 3.5 quarters of the game. And when the Lakers started making their shots, you started seeing them not catch up on the rotations enough. And of course, the Lakers were able to make their shots. It's a 48-minute game, and this ended up being another 5 minutes. And this is a young team. Lakers are a young team. They can handle these games. LeBron, I'd prefer him not to have these kind of games, obviously, but everyone else is fairly equipped athletically and age-wise to handle a game like this, and they handle it very well. And these kind of games will teach, as one of our patrons on the chat said, metal. Their metal is gonna get much, much harder. And I thoroughly enjoyed this game, and I hope there are more here in the next 20 games or so, because it'll prep them for the playoffs. With that, I'm going to be leaving now, guys. Go ahead and enjoy the evening. Will still be watching, and I'll be maybe throwing a couple chats here and there. But I will talk to you guys probably on Saturday, and then we'll go from there.
Sounds good, my friend.
See you, Joe.
Fun travels, and then according to Ralph, enjoy Taco Bell.
I'm not eating Taco Bell. I'd rather go to Ethiopia and starve to death.
Well, you got two choices: Taco Bell or olives. So
I'd rather eat olives,
pick your poison.
which I'm going to do, by the way.
Wow.
Hey, Ralph,
Yeah.
get the olives in there.
Yeah, which I'm going to do. The Lakers ball finally gave me the amount they want. They want that 2.25 ounce tuna-sized container, and they're hinting at making me want to drink the olive juice. So I'm pretty jacked right now. But I'll keep you guys updated on that. Have a good night, everyone. Lakers,
See you, Joe.
baby,
Take care.
number one.
Hell yeah.
Later, guys.
Ciao.
Later. Once again, it is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break. It is Xbox, along with me, Joe Glassford. Thanks again for watching this thing. Mark, I'll bring it back to you with the victory tonight. Again, the Lakers second place to Western Conference. There's only, is there 6 teams right now that have 40 wins? Looking at it right now. Yep, there's only 6 teams in the NBA right now, Mark, that has 40 wins. And one of those is the Lakers, 10.5 games out. Second place to Western Conference. Winners of 8 in a row. Definitely things are looking good. Their Lakers are on a high with a lot of momentum. heading out on this very important road trip. This is going to be a rough road trip. It starts off in Boston, and it
Yeah.
doesn't get much prettier. And the reason why is that the Lakers have these back-to-backs on the schedule. If you look at the schedule, guys, what's
Yeah.
upcoming? That Milwaukee-Denver back-to-back on the 13th and 14th, and then you follow that up at home. Guess what? You get a back-to-back there too with Phoenix and San Antonio.
Mm.
The schedule maker does not like the Lakers, my friend, because they've bunched up a lot in a short amount of time, not including the fact that they, one of those games, I believe it is the 17th game, that is the makeup for the Fires as well. The schedule maker is making it hard for the Lakers, but can they get it done, my friend?
Yeah, why not? I mean, like you said, they haven't done us any favors, but what I do like is this upcoming game against the Celtics. We play them, and then we've got a couple of days to take on the Nets, where you think, you can never take a game for granted, but you should think that we can beat the Nets. And like we were talking about yesterday, maybe if you're going to rest at any point during this road trip, Luka or LeBron might be, maybe one of them for that game. So I don't know, I would have maybe not been feeling the same had we lost tonight and lost a bit of winning momentum. But yeah, look, let's be honest, guys. Celtics are the defending NBA champions. They can shoot threes with the best teams of all time. So it's not going to be an easy game, but at the same time, we've proven that we can, put together a 48-minute team effort and win. And hey, we haven't gone there without Luka before. And there's something about Luka, I know the guys a lot of people don't like the fact that Luka complains to the refs. I sometimes look at it a different way. For me, that just means passion. And he is a European fellow, and being of European descent, I sort of know that we do a bit more chirping. You can listen to me on playback how I am there than most. We are quite emotive at times, and Luca's just got to at times focus on the right sort of energy. I felt like a couple times tonight he got a bit upset when he got called for fouls, and he was sort of, waving to JJ, and it was clearly a foul. But your superstar is going to do that, and not taking anything away from Luka, because he was a big part of why we won tonight. Look at his stat line; it was sick, and that's coming off a plus 37 point, plus minus differential last game. So yeah, Gerald, we got to win these games. Obviously, that Milwaukee Denver little stint there looks, quite ominous, but
That's a tough
it's
back-to-back.
not ideal. It's not
Yeah.
ideal. You're playing
And that's not even a makeup. Like the second of the back-to-backs with Phoenix and San Antonio, the one is the San Antonio from the Fires. So I get that. I understand that they had to
yeah.
shoehorn that one in. But the Milwaukee Denver back-to-back
It
is
seems
a
mean.
was
Yeah,
planned by the NBA schedulers way back when they set
yeah.
up the schedule. That to me is
Well, that's
that's
funny, Gerald, because
almost
how many
unfair.
people, on the other side of the Lakers, fandom
Yeah, that's
say
true.
that the NBA, got us Luca. So
Or like
I
the
think,
Lakers, they catch the Lakers on a second of a back-to-back, whoever they played first or whatnot. Yeah, so
yeah,
I get that.
exactly.
I understand that. Yeah.
But that's
I
okay.
get that. And
Not
Natalia thinks we're not going to lose another game for the rest of the season. So she is the
well.
eternal. I mean, we talked about Laker Tom being an optimist. There you go. That is the eternal optimist right
Well, I
there. So
rate that. Yeah,
yes, more power to her. Absolutely.
we'd be in
Dylan,
cloud
where's
nine if
Joe?
that happened.
Joe was here. He wished
Sorry,
you
Dylan.
well, Dylan, but he said he had to go eat some olives. Put it on his Taco Bell taco, and then on it also the inch. They used to have the enchilada. I think they may come back with that with the olives on it because that was actually something that had olives on it. I remember. But
Okay.
I think that's yes. But he
Well,
sent
shout
his
out to
love to you,
Dylan.
Dylan. Yeah, shout
Yeah,
out to
hell yeah.
Dylan indeed. But
Yeah, Joe's
again,
not
it is
back tonight, guys, unfortunately, but he'll be back
no.
next
He
stream.
might come back for the Saturday game because he's on the road. He's in Arizona. If you're in Arizona, like Juan or anybody else up there that's watching the Dodgers in spring training, go ahead,
Yeah.
hit me up at Lakers Fast Break at yahoo.com and I'll forward it over to Joe so maybe he can meet up with you. He is watching again this weekend. As far as him, maybe even Empire Jeff. I'm not sure if those two coordinated or not yet fully on that. because it was kind of iffy. But Joe is out for spring training in Arizona right now, so go ahead and catch him right there. Bloodhound says Joe must hate the Olive Garden. Uh, the Olive Garden's great. You could just take the olives out of the salad. It's not a big deal. Otherwise, their pasta's pretty good. So, Thamelin says, I have a strange fear, Xbox. If we beat the Celtics, we might get overconfident in the media as well, and the team might start believing it. Your thoughts, gents? There's a tendency to say that could happen. Thamelin is, if they choke the next, the couple nights later in Brooklyn, I could understand that being exactly the case. And, you could say you called it. Again, Saturday night in Boston, I think the teams are going to be at ready. I don't know if Rui will be ready, but I think Xbox, I think that both teams will be motivated to put on a show. Always on those national TV games, you're
Hell
usually
yeah.
motivated to do that. Your thoughts on that? But again, I could see that if they win, a little bit of overconfidence. I mean, just in the sheer psyche of what these teams go through, that's a possibility. I'm not going to put it out the realm of possibility. The thing is, you've got to make sure you don't have that letdown 2 nights later in Brooklyn or their next game in Brooklyn.
Well, I mean, that'd be heartbreaking if that actually happens like that.
Mhm.
Brooklyn for me is the one, out of all these 4 games that we're going on. Obviously, if we lose that, then would have to dissect that at the time, actually what's happened, but that's not going to be a good sign. So yeah. Oh, John, sick man, you're back. We'll just quickly, John, we're talking about the road trip here and potentially about the overconfidence if we beat Boston. I mean, for me, yeah, there's a worry for that, but I don't know. Like, there's always a worry for that with the Lakers. When we are going well, the media, and certain media does hype us up. But I think with JJ, I don't know. JJ doesn't seem to be a coach that listens too much to, obviously, he was in the media, but he doesn't seem to be someone that gets too hyped up on that. So you hope that there's an even, no worries, Stain. Mad respect to you. I'd love to talk to JQ one time on here. Thane's a great dude, but yeah, for me, there's always the possibility of that, but then you've got to rein it in eternally, and that's up to guys like JJ, the experienced assistants that I know Joe doesn't rate, and guys like LeBron. Man, LeBron's been here before. He's been hyped up all before. So you've got to, these guys are professionals. You can't get too caught up in that, but there's a chance that could happen, Thane. But you hope that we're bigger and better than that. But let's just worry about the next game, and if we do win, hey man, that's sick. So we go what then 42 wins, 21 losses there, Gerald.
Well, we're 40 right now, so we go be
Sorry,
Boston 41.
41
Again,
and
this
21.
trip with the 4 games, I'm hoping 2-2 myself, because just by the sheer nature of that Milwaukee Denver frightens me. If they go 3-1, I think it's a big success. And Natalia
Yeah.
says they're going 4-0, so much props to her. John, what are your thoughts on this upcoming trip at Boston, and then the next game is at Brooklyn? You're worried about, as Jamie Sweet would always say, Mr. Admiral Akbar himself. That's a trap. It's a trap game. I know he'll be telling me that here in a not too distant future. And then after that, you have that brutal, absolutely brutal back to back with Milwaukee and Giannis and Lillard. And then the day after against Denver, who are probably going to be going in there. They want a rematch, and they want, after what, getting clobbered the last time around in Denver, they're going to be probably a little bit more motivated than normal. Your thoughts on this upcoming road trip, my friend, and how you see it playing itself out?
Man, the back to back, I think that's definitely a scheduled loss. At least one of those back to backs. Gerald, I don't have the schedule pulled up, but I think you had mentioned you said we're playing the Bucks and then the Nuggets on a
Yes,
back to
the
back.
next
So
night is the Nuggets. Yes, and the
yes,
Nuggets will be pissed off seeing us. Yes.
yes, absolutely. So I think one of those is absolutely a scheduled loss. But about the Celtics and us, getting overly confident, I don't think that that'll happen, man. Like even if we beat the Celtics, because to Mark's point, like I think you only can get overly confident if that's what the leader is giving off, if that's what the coach is giving off. I think that LeBron James, I think Luca, I think JJ, like they all know, like we're not satisfied with where we are, and I think they all know like we're far from where we need to be. And Lakers all day, I know he was on here earlier. He had said that he thinks like we're championship contenders, which I respect his take. I personally don't even think so, and I'm a huge Lakers fan myself. But I just to be a contender, in my opinion, that means that you would have to be able to put up a serious competition in a 7-game series against teams that are that were there last year or won a championship. And I don't see us being able to do that
I
as of right
disagree with
now.
you on that. I said before, and I said it from the trade, that you have Luka and LeBron on that team. And those guys are averaging 30 in the series. They're going to be a very tough out. I'll leave it at that. I'm not saying I
Absolutely.
would predict them to win. I'm just saying that they are going to be competitive against anyone that they
Absolutely.
face in the playoffs.
But that's different than being a contender, though, because I agree with that, and I say the same thing. I think we're going to be a tough out, and no team wants to see us early because you're going to have to give us your absolute all to be able to get past the Lakers team because we're such a tough out. But I don't think that we're a contender. To be a contender, in my opinion, there can only be one team to come out the West, only one team to come out the East. So you got to be one of the
So if
top.
they finish number 2, like Brian is asking, if we think that Brian, I think there's a possibility. I looked at the schedule the rest of the way, Brian, and they do have a genuine possibility, a strong possibility to get number 2. You don't think that would make them a contender at all, John?
Man, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you, brother. I don't think that we would beat Oklahoma City Thunder in a 7-game series.
Hmm.
And
I
I
know they would
know,
be favored. I would respect your opinion on that, but I think they would have a chance if
Well,
Luka.
going that
no,
way, like John, who's better than us then?
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So look, because we have two great players in LeBron and Luca who can just affect the game in so many different ways beyond scoring, I think that on a one-off game, we could fuck around and beat anybody. But a 7-game series is a whole different story, and it's game planned and played totally different. Now, some of that game plan and some of that playing style actually favors us because it becomes more of a half-court game, becomes more of a chess match instead of a checkers match, and that's what Luca and LeBron do absolutely best. But to my point that I was making earlier in playback, the reason why I would fear Oklahoma City Thunder is because they have an immense amount of guards to send
Oh yeah,
our.
they have 6 or 7 guys that they can throw out at LeBron or especially Luka. I get that. I understand that. I'm not saying I would favor them. Vegas wouldn't favor them. I'm not going to favor them, but I'm to say that they're not a championship contender if they go in as a 2nd seed in the Western Conference, I think would be sadly mistaken, though, in my opinion.
I,
Respectfully, John.
no, absolutely. And I mean, the only reason why I say that is because I think that there can only be 2 teams that can actually contend. And to the latter point I was going to make in my point when I started talking was, one, I don't think we can beat OKC in a 7-game series. I think it's not that it'd be a sweep. I think it'd still probably go 6-7, to be honest with you. And they would have to give their absolute all, which makes us a tough out. And then the other team, I think, would be the Nuggets. I know we beat the Nuggets this last time. I know, people think, and I'm the biggest JJ Redick advocate. Go ahead, check my channel. I made a video supporting and backing this guy when all you guys that love him now were shitting on him, saying, "Oh, this guy he didn't even coach a middle school team." And I'm like, dude, watch this guy. Basketball is not what you think it used to be. It's about having understanding relationships and having respect and understanding the game and X's and O's and playing a lot more on the fly. And it's exactly what's going on. But still, to ask JJ Redick, his first year head coaching, to match up against a I'm not gonna say reigning champions, but I gotta give the Denver Nuggets their respect for being champions. And Luka and Jokic, who knows how to turn this game also into a chess match. I just think it might be a little bit of a far stretch. Granted, I think we're a tough out, but to be a contender, in my opinion, in my book, a contender does not go past 2 teams in each conference.
Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. It is, of course, John Kostick. Let's talk in Lakers Corner. Send all your hate mail his way. Not
Well,
mine. I know. I know. I'm going to get the comments for that. When you said that they aren't a contender, I know I'm going to get the comments
but the thing is, look, and let me say one. Let me
along
say
with
one
Mark
other thing.
Xbox.
Let,
Just want to
let,
make
let me
sure.
say let me just say one other thing, man. You guys
Okay.
also got to see like y'all got to realize, man, one thing, like before like everyone that's out that just tries to get on me, like I got to realize this league is a copycat league. Okay, the best teams have a certain style, and the best teams have a certain type of player besides a superstar. I mean, every team needs a superstar or all-star, a go-to guy. But you also, if you look at the past couple of champions, they've had a dominant big. Defense wins championships. The ability to protect the rim is a immensely important thing to have on your team. And we do not have that at an elite level. Jackson Hayes has been doing his absolute best. But do we not remember what happened in the Utah Jazz game when it was Walker Kessler and whatever the other big that they have over there? When we go up against teams that have that that twin tower lineup, we fucking struggle. And you know who has the two twin towers lineups that I think that we would have a hard time with? No, let me just finish quick. To win a championship, you know what you got to do? You got to beat the team in the East. And the number one seed has a twin tower lineup and can also guard in the perimeters on the East. The number two teams on the East has a twin towers lineup and can guard perimeter and can have perimeter defenders, can literally guard switch 1 through 5. So I say that to say it's like we're very good and we're a tough out. But to say we're gonna win a championship and we got Jackson Hayes out there, you guys, that
John,
is a far stretch.
John, you're
I
getting
don't put.
called Nico Harrison in the
Let me
chat.
see. Let me see.
I'm
Let me grow. Oh, there's a lot of
it,
chats.
it was
John
funny.
Weiss, so Denver. Let me see.
John Nico
Hey, so
Harrison. There you
I
go.
want to ask John this, okay? John, good point, but like I think you look at it differently to me. This contender aspect of it, certainly, John, when you're the second in the Western Conference, you're a contender for me at this stage, okay? But
Mhm.
what about when we take on OKC, bro, and we've got the two best players on the floor, or certainly two of the best three? Does that change your mind a little bit when we got Luka and LeBron out there together? Like, like Luka and LeBron are pretty special, man, a pretty special combination that they're forming. Does that sort of change your mind a little bit? They got Shea, granted, but
It
you're
does.
talking about boys like Hardenstein and Williams, dudes that haven't proven themselves at all, bro, in finals. Like,
No,
does
for
that?
sure. No, and I'll give you that, right? And that's the point that I make of like playoff basketball favors us only because we it becomes more of a chess match, and that's when Luca and LeBron really start to pick players apart. But if you look at the way that we beat the Denver Nuggets in 2020, right? What was the only way to stop Jokic? And I mean, it's been proven since then. The only way to stop Jokic is throwing multiple bodies at him. That's the only way to multiple defenders throughout the game. First quarter, give him one look. Next possession, give him another look, and continuously just to give him looks throughout the game. And OKC can do that exact same thing for Luca, right? And that's the thing that I fear. You want to start, you want to, get Luca tired early. Cool. We got Lou Dort for you. Lou Dort gonna chase your ass up and down that court, be physical with you, bump you, be able to get into it with you. Lou Dort's not a small dude. You can't just put him in the post. He's a strong guy. You get tired of that. You figured out that matchup. Cool. I got SGA, who led the league in steals last year for you. Oh, you get tired of that? You figure that out? Cool. I got Alex Caruso, who's one of the best perimeter defenders in the league. Oh, you get tired of that? Cool. I got J Dub for you. So that what I'm saying is they have an immense amount of players to be able to just constantly throw at Luca. Do we have the best player in the series? Absolutely do. But unfortunately, basketball is played with 5 players and not just one-on-one. Unless you're playing ones. If we're playing ones, then yeah, maybe so. So to me, it's just they have a better 5-man roster. Watch when Chet comes back into his. And one of my biggest things when we played OKC and we had AD was like, oh, AD is gonna baby food him, and when you baby food him, it's gonna force a double. that's not really the case, right? Like maybe they still try to double Luka, but why would you double Luka and you got all these elite ass defenders around you? So I
No,
don't
that's
know,
a good
man.
call. I don't know. Personally, they're going to be a tough matchup, but yeah, if we can play
And
them at full strength, John, with Rui and AR and stuff firing, I seriously think we got a chance. But that's just me.
yeah, really quick, Brian Green. I don't know what in the world you're talking about, bro. I'm not at all missing Max Christie. Actually, that's how I know you a casual and you not fucking listening. Because I started this show by saying if you miss Max Christie over what Luca's been doing for us, go ahead and take your ass over there to Dallas because we don't miss him at all. So I
Because
don't know.
with Rodell. It starts off with Rodell, who again I had to shut him down earlier because he talked about, oh well, did you see how he did in the finals? I said, yeah, he shot 38% from the field, and Gabe shot 33% from three in the finals. Which, again, you can't blame him for that. They were outmanned by Denver. Let's just put it that way and get it move on. But yeah, he was the one that started with Max Christie, but I don't want to talk about Max Christie. He's done. He's gone. Uh, he's up and down. He's a rotation player for Dallas, and he will now get the opportunity to play in Dallas because Kyrie's injured and their team is possibly on the way out of the playoffs and maybe playing for a play-in at this time. But I also don't want to say a month from now when the Lakers are playing OKC. I'm just going to put this now in, Mark. uh, OKC by that time is just going to be in cruise control. They may actually have players sit down by the time that the Lakers play them in the 6th and the 8th. Don't take what happens on April 6th and the 8th at total face value for both sides. We don't know where the Lakers will be. We'll know OKC is going to be like 7 to 10 games ahead, and possibly even 12, 13 games ahead in the standings. They're going to be resting their main guys around that time. So we won't be able to see exactly what it looks like against each other probably until the playoffs. But to say, I disagree respectfully to John. And if you can't say with Luka LeBron that this team is not a championship contender, I think that's being, in my opinion, a little short-sighted with guys that have gone to the finals in Luke and LeBron. And in case of LeBron has won in the finals, Gabe has gone to the finals. You're right. With Jackson Hayes sitting there again, people been throwing out the other day, Mark, that he was like one of the one of the top defensive ratings for a center in the past in the
10
month of
games.
February. Yeah, again, that is also a combined defensive
Good thing the
effort.
season is
First
not
off,
10 games and it's 82. And good
well,
thing that the
but
playoffs is more than 10
but
games
it
as well,
also
too.
defensive rating is also based off a collective defense. Who else is playing there at that time? It's not just him. It's how the rest of the team is playing alongside of him at that point in time, and the team collectively has played a good defense. And Jackson Hayes, we saw tonight again. He's given you effort, gave multiple challenges. Not great at protecting the rim, but again, he is what he is. He is what he have, and we're going to go ahead and try and see if we can go far. I think this team, even with Jackson Hayes at center, Mark, can be considered a championship contender. I didn't say they should be favored against OKC. I just say again that they have a chance to win in any series, a legitimate chance to win in any series that they come up with in the playoffs, even if it means Jackson Hayes is your starting center, Xbox.
It's an absolute given for me, Gerald. Like Luka Doncic, pretty much, nearly took his country. I've said this before, of 2 million people to the bronze medal of a Olympics. Now, basketball is the second most played international sport in the world. There's a lot of teams that care about trying to win Olympic medals. Yeah, granted, you guys in the US, and shout out to you, typically win the gold. So everyone else is playing for silver and bronze, but we want that bad, man. I know that from an Australian perspective, man. We've lost a lot of bronze medal games. And Luka nearly carried his team there, man. So you don't think that that doesn't translate to the NBA? I mean, he did it last year. He carried, yeah, okay. Admittedly, they had much better bigs than possibly we've got. Yeah, they did, John, but
And that's what,
he
bro,
was
like, that's what
he was a
nobody,
big
but
part of it.
everybody keeps
Like,
not realizing the fact that, like, they had a big, and having a big next to Luca is like the game changer. That will take your team from great to Hall of Fame level because
yeah,
that's Luca operates well with the better the big is that you're going to pair with Luka, the better your team will be. So it's like, yes, for sure, Kyrie is not LeBron James. So and Luka went to the
That's what
finals
I'm
last
saying,
year.
John. That was going to be my point.
Uh,
LeBron's your boy. Like,
he is, but Luka Doncic is always been better and has always gotten his team better when he's had a big paired with him, not like another ball dominant player. Like he can be successful with another ball dominant player because that just he's off the ball a little bit more, and other guy, they're taking turns as to who play make, who scores, who does this and who does that. But what I'm saying is like trying to compare, bro, Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively to fucking Jackson Hayes. Come on, guys, like they're far superior, and that's why that team got as far as they did. But I mean, I don't
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
I don't think you guys are crazy for your take. I just don't see it. I don't see us being able to get to the pinnacle and win the pinnacle with when you have a player like Jackson Hayes out there. I
I
don't think
think
it
John's using a bit of reverse psychology, and I like that. I like what he's doing there. But yeah,
But I
look,
can see he
he's
is a
logical.
minimum player. He
Yeah,
is a minimum
sure.
player and came to the
But he's
Lakers
been playing sweet, Gerald.
as a failed lottery pick. You got to
Yeah,
admit that, guys, when he came here. But again, playing with Luca has even upped his game more because he accentuates what Jackson Hayes does best. Jackson Hayes, the only thing during his time in the Lakers, up until the time that Luca came here, the only thing that he was proficient at was pick and rolls to the basket. And Luca has accentuated and multiplied that by 10. And that has given him the confidence to improve other facets of his game. Is he still a great rim protector? No. Is he still the greatest on defensive awareness? No. But Jackson Hayes has improved to the fact he's no longer considered a minimum player. But would you stack him up against the centers that are going to be facing in the Western Conference or the Eastern Conference as far as in the playoffs? Again, I can understand where John sees it from there,
of
and
course.
that the OKC does have a lot of bodies they can throw, Lucas. So let's say they throw Dort first off for the majority of the ups in game one, and it doesn't work out. Then they have two or three other options they can go at Xbox. And I see what John is saying with that. They have so many things that they can throw at a LeBron or a Luca. But the problem is, on their side, does SGA, if SGA is not scoring the basketball, do they have enough consistent scoring? As was mentioned in our chat, I agree with them as well. If SGA isn't getting to the line, if he's not getting the calls, if he's not getting the buckets, is he getting enough support offensively from his teammates? That's the question. But again, we
Well,
got to get
yeah.
to that point, guys. We got to get to that point. But I consider the Lakers a championship contender from this point forward. You can't get to second place in the Western Conference and not be that. But the schedule's tough. I know Brian was asking earlier. The schedule's tough. I think they can do it, but the schedule is not going to be their friend from this point forward. Xbox.
No, but hey, we're in second now. So where would you rather be, in fourth trying to chase, or like we've always done the last few years where we're looking at play-in and hoping we make sixth or fifth spot? Like we're in a great position. So I think we've got to take that into account overall. If we do get home court advantage in most of these series, well, that's going to make it easier for us. But I sort of like, okay, you look at Jackson Hayes and you take him out. You say, okay, you're going to get beaten by the other center by 10, 12 points, right? But then you start going down the other players. This is what I'm sort of
and
like,
on the glass.
and on the
Go ahead.
glass. But yeah, John, but like then you start, okay, then you go to our fourth best
I
player,
think a
Rui.
plus minus works for him. I know the plus
Well,
minus is not, you don't base it for every single player. It doesn't always tell
you
you
do
everything you
for
need to
him,
know. But I
Gerald.
think for a Jackson Hayes, I think a plus minus
Like
might be a
tonight,
good
Gerald,
indicator.
tonight's a perfect example, right? He
Yeah.
got 8
Yeah.
points tonight, but he was a plus
Mhm.
5 in the plus minus, and so you look at that, and Cat, their center, has got 12 points. So, okay, they've nullified each other, and then you start going down to the other players in the team, and it's like, okay, Luke is the best player on the floor. LeBron and SGA might sort of cancel each other out with points. Then you throw in AR against Jalen Williams. I know it doesn't always work out like this, but for me, we've got a strong team. So, yeah, obviously the center position isn't our strongest, but we got better players in other positions than an OKC and other teams in the West. So hopefully that works out like that. But I know exactly what John's saying. And I think as well, OKC, because they haven't had that recent playoff success, maybe are getting overlooked a little bit by Laker fans overall. But man, yeah, I don't know. Like for me, when you got Luka and you got LeBron, and you can mix in these other players, Rui, AR, and the rest of the boys, we definitely have a chance. But yeah, John, having said that, we come back next year and we've made a trade in the summer for a really good center. Yeah, like we're probably even in a more confident position. But Jackson Hayes,
Wow.
man, he has elevated his game.
You know what's
I'm
crazy,
just
guys?
noticing this. Well, let me
You-
just say this. I'm noticing this, guys. It's funny because upcoming Denver has to play 2 straight games in Oklahoma City. It's not a back-to-back. It is a back-to-back. I'm sorry for them. And the Lakers in April on the 6th and the 8th, they got to play a back-to-back in OKC. Wow. Interesting how they scheduled your time in OKC. It's just interesting what they did on the schedule. I'll just leave it at that. I'll just leave it how OKC is getting a little bit of this stuff going on. So,
Conspiracy.
John, exactly. John, I'm going to let you close out our conversations here, and then Xbox, I'm going to get some final words from you. It is, of course, the Lakers winning tonight in overtime, 113 to 109. John, your thoughts on the game? You might want to, anything else you want to add in? And then, of course, the cheap plug on what you're doing at Clutch Talk and Lakers Corner, my friend.
Yes. Final thoughts on the game. I'll finish it off the same way I started. It's great to get a win you didn't expect to get. I'm loving it. As far as where you can find me and all my content, check me out, Lakers Corner, YouTube channel. On Instagram, it's Lakers underscore. Yep, Lakers underscore corner. On TikTok, it's Lakers Corner 24. Check me out. I do like 2-minute game recaps. I do like a detailed like game recap as well. And I just kind of get into all just Lakers news as well. On top of being here at postgame, but hey man, I know there was a lot of negativity here on the show, but we got to win,
Let's
man.
be positive. We
gotta
won.
win,
We
man. We got to
won.
win, man. And you know
Yeah,
what?
we
We got
did.
an 8-game
I
winning.
think what set us off is
Yeah,
the
we
first thing.
did.
We come off of a very emotional victory, a very team-building
Yes.
victory, and the first words you see on the chat, Max.
Don't
Bill.
mention it. Don't do it. Joe
Nah,
will
I
come
hear
back
you,
in
I
the
hear
chat.
you. Joe all of a sudden just pops in.
He just ups and down. Again, he's a good rotation player. That's what he is. That's what
Yeah.
he'll probably will be for the rest of his career. Last week he's been, before Kyrie got hurt, he was terrible. He was terrible. But
Yeah.
before that, he was really good. And now I'm expecting him to get a lot of playing time and be really good going forward, because he's going to get a lot of playing time on a team that's probably going nowhere. And let's just leave it at that. But Xbox, any last thoughts before we head on out as well, my friend?
Nothing too much, but yeah, just shout
Don't
out
die, by the way.
Yeah,
in
try not
the
to.
segment. Yes.
Hopefully, I can be here for next game, pending power. But just shout out to John and guys. If you want to, I've said this before, like with the way content is these days, if you want a short, sharp recap of the game, no one does it better than my boy John. I always
Yes,
watch the 2-minute
absolutely agree.
recaps, and when you got a dude that still plays the game and is a lot younger than possibly a lot of us here, which kudos to you, John. Enjoy that youth. It's a brilliant recap. So watch that. But yeah, man, hey, a win's a win, boys. And like I always say, imagine Gerald, you might have had 150 in the chat if we did lose. But it's always
Always seems to work out that way.
That's
Only
right.
channel I know where
That's so funny.
where you get more when you lose than when you win.
Exactly. So it's a bit counterproductive like that. But hey, a win's a win, winning momentum. Let's go see what we could do against the Celtics. If we win there, we just keep rolling. And that's it. And I want to give a credit to Luka. He had a great game tonight. We haven't really focused on him. That's how good Luka is.
Matter of fact, it's almost, you come to expect it now, don't you?
Exactly. And Luka's just integrating slowly but surely the confidence of, he didn't really talk to the refs the first few games and that, but he's getting more confident in the LA uniform, and I love to see it. And LeBron, Joe, if you're listening, because I don't think you listened to us at the start, I said this. LeBron, a couple of bad shots late, bro, but in overtime, you stepped up hardcore and you got the free throws, man, and other big plays too. LeBron's been playing off the chain, so winning momentum's good momentum, Gerald. Shout out to JJ Redick too, because he lifted the boys at halftime. But great chat tonight. Thank you, Gerald. Thank you, John.
Thank you, my friend. And you be safe. You and Jeremy both be safe. And then may you both, if something happens, get saved by a beautiful paramedic. How about that?
Sounds good to me.
As long as the paramedic's not named Sean Grice. How about that? Yes, there you go.
Yeah, well, but if it's a beautiful paramedic, I might just accidentally pass out.
Oh, and he's not smoke.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh no.
That old trick.
Absolutely, indeed. But once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. We'll be here tomorrow. I know no Joe. Again, he's in Arizona. So if you see him for spring training for the Dodgers, he is there. Give us a shout out. Give him a shout out. Or if you need to know where he's at, please hit me up, LakersFastBreak@yahoo.com, and I can get a hold of him as well. But again, we will have a show tomorrow night covering the upcoming road trip, starting with Boston on Saturday. And of course, Saturday, for the Boston game, I'll have the playback up, playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. John and Xbox did a great job, along with Sports Baby. Give him a big shout out as well. Danny was there. Stone Hansen was there. Zach was there. Nick, I think, did Nick stop by?
Nick did stop by for a little bit, yep.
Yeah, yep. Always a big shout out to him. I tell you what, we got a great cast of characters there, and always be a part of what we do playback while it's still. And of course, Sean was there as well.
He said, "While it's still there."
Yeah.
Rated
R. Sean Grice was there that night. That's for sure. But yeah, did you delete?
I'm about to right now.
Please do that. Please do that. Indeed. I'll just leave it at that. But once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. Truly appreciate you joining us. I hope, Natalia, you are right and that the Lakers will go undefeated for the rest of the season. But win or lose, we'll be here. We'll be telling you like it is. As always, whether it's tomorrow or on the road trip, there's no one better to do it covering the Lakers than right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast.